Do you guys remember this video that I made where I was talking about how hard it is to make a video game, let alone a good one, and even when you put all your blood, sweat and tears into your craft, you can still end up with something rather sloppy? Well, UFO 50 said shut up, I don't want to hear it, and made 50 games. These aren't mini games or tech demos, they are full fleshed out from top to bottom video games. And you know what is the craziest part? Every single one of them. Literally every single one is good. Again, making one game is hard. I can't even do it myself. I don't have the expertise for it. But making 50 of them is something only the most insane of us can do. It is a huge undertaking, and the amount of raw talent that is on display here is a sight to behold. I am willing to say this. UFO 50 is the single most impressive game I've ever gotten the joy of experiencing in my entire life. Yes, I mean games like The Last of Us, Team Fortress 2, Dark Souls, Stardew Valley, literally every single other successful game out there has its own aspects that makes them special. They all have that game designer's touch, but it's still just one game. They did this 50 times and hit the nail on the head perfectly every single attempt. You'd think because there are so many titles that a lot of them would be small 30-minute plays where you'd go, oh, that was cute, and forget about it 5 minutes later. But no, every single one of them has depth and there are no do-overs. Each game is unique and can stand on its own 2 feet. Yes, some of them are weaker, like Block Koala or Planet Zoldath, which are meh, but none of them are outright bad. There are full-on 10+ hour turn-based RPGs in this collection. There is a tower defense game called Rock on Island and it's really polished. Hyper Contender is Smash Bros with a fun twist. Campanella is this little try to complete a maze without being hit game, which is a lot of fun, but then you find out that they made a little racing spin-off game based on it and a proper sequel that is a full-on roguelike, and then they made a third one that is a Star Fox game. What the hell? Overbold is like Isaac, Porgy is like Dave the Diver, Valgriss is like Downwell but in reverse, and Seaside Drive is also like Downwell because it is literally made by the creator of Downwell. A Tactics is peak, Bushido Ball is awesome, Mortal 2 is a lot of fun, there is a horror game, a deck builder, a Metroid game combined with VVVVV, Quibble Race is gambling where you can drug your opponent, Ninpek, Barbuta, Pin Golf, Pilot Quest, Caramel, Min and Max, Rakshasha, Real Heist. How the hell did they do it? There is so much good stuff here. It is an absolutely insane collection of games spanning dozens of genres like arcade, platformers, shooters, puzzles, and every single one of them is a blast to play. Even the ones that don't look like your cup of tea are great. Avianos was that title for me because when I booted it up for the first time and I saw this screen, I went, okay, yeah, this sucks mega balls, but then I started playing it, and I started to understand the mechanics, and I went, wait a minute. No, it's actually really good. And that's not even mentioning the style of the entire collection, which oozes a genuine love for video games. Nowadays, we are really focused on trying to make the most visually striking experiences imaginable. Bouncy animations, pretty hand-drawn art, ray tracing, 4K quality resolution. This has made a lot of games look stunning, but it has also kinda buried the art of how titles were made in the 80s and 90s. UFO 50 is a beautiful callback to those older games, and the way it plays feels like I've entered a lost art form that hasn't been touched in decades. They even went as far to restrict themselves to only using 32 colors for the entire collection and audio restrictions, meaning when there are too many sound effects playing at the same time, it will cut some of them off. You don't see this anymore. The industry has moved on from this, but it's such a neat and charming little touch. They restricted themselves with so many aspects, even when it comes to the controls. It uses the D-pad and 2 buttons. That's it. If you want, you can play every single one of these games on a NES controller. But these restrictions brew innovation, and the amount of quality ideas UFO 50 has under its belt and executed flawlessly is impressive, to say the least. This title was supposed to be released in 2018, but I think the developers figured out that making 50 quality games is like really hard. But the Mad Lads did it, and holy shit, did they do it well. If you love video games, like really love video games, and you have a huge appreciation for how they are made and all the little knickknacks that go on behind the scenes, UFO 50 is a title that will stick in your mind for the remainder of your life, and it is a masterclass of video game design. The soundtrack is also almost 7 hours long, Jesus Christ.